Catherine, and this is Garden Tips with Kat. I'm going to be going over a few different things you can do to help your garden look great year-round, so stay tuned. The first thing I'm going to talk about today are planting seeds. So here in Northeast Florida, we get to plant stuff year-round. There's just some different veggies and stuff that you can plant. So some of the ones you can plant in February, I brought out here. We've got kale, broccoli, peas, cauliflower, beets, carrots, and cabbage. And these are all winter plants. So you can plant them during the winter time and they should succeed even if we have some freezes and stuff like that. We have, of course, some plants that are not going to survive the cold, like cucumbers and stuff like that, but these are great for this season right now. And you can either plant them indoor and take them out once they've grown up a little, or you can start them out outside, and if we get a freeze or something, you might want to bring them in while they're still like tender little sprouts. Some other things you can plant that we don't have in our shop right now are potatoes, onions, radishes were one, and turnips. Alright, so this time of year, there's a couple things that you can fertilize in your garden. One thing is your citrus trees. You can fertilize them at this time of year, but they do recommend not cutting them back right now. So if you have dead branches or parts that aren't looking so good, just hold off on that, because if we get another freeze, it might damage the tree itself. So just fertilize that. So we've got a really great fertilizer here in shops, an organic fertilizer, the Spoma Citrus Tone. And this one is a great granular fertilizer that you would take, and you can take it kind of in handfuls and take it on the drip line of your tree, so from like where the branches are, go straight down from there, and then you would just kind of massage it around into the soil and water it in. And that's a really easy one, slow release, so you don't have to worry about over fertilizing your tree. But this one is just a great product overall. And we have the same product in a rose one as well, and this is another thing you can fertilize right now is your roses. So same kind of idea, and if you're planting a rose, you can just use it in the bottom hole as you plant the rose also, and you can actually do that with both of these. So if you're planting a citrus tree or planting a rose, put it in the bottom of the hole and it'll help your roots really get started and grow down into that soil. As far as the roses go, you can actually also trim them back right now during the season. So if you see like dead brown stalks on them, you want to trim those back. And you can, and if you're not sure if it's dead or not, what you can do is cut into it, and if it has green on the inside, it's alive, and if it doesn't, then it's dead, and you know you're good to go. Alright guys, here on our wall we have a lot of different products for you guys for your garden. We've got soil amendments, we've got potting soil, and back over here we do have some different pesticides to use, even organic ones. So if you have problems with bugs on your veggies, we've got something to help with that. And then again, we do have all of our fertilizers over here, which later on in this series we'll show you how to use some of those as well. Alright, so here in Northeast Florida, even though our winters are mild, we still get cold, and some people think like during the winter you can't plant annuals. So I'm here to bust that myth and tell you about some of the ones that you can plant right now. So I've laid out a couple of the ones we have here in stock right now. The first one is a flowering kale, and this one is really pretty. This one's a purple one, it comes in green also. It's just a nice little plant that you can just kind of stick in anywhere and just get some texture and color. It doesn't have like actual little flowers coming off, but it's a nice big showy piece for one piece. The next one we've got right here is an Alyssum. I believe this one is this is White Knight is the variety on this guy. And these are really nice. They have a really great smell to them. They kind of do bush up a little bit and also overflow. So if you're putting them in a pot, they do a really nice by the side, just overflowing the pot. And again, they've got a really sweet smell to them. Then if you're looking for pink, like we know so many people like, we've got the Bubblegum Petunia right here. And this guy's great because he'll last through the springtime, and they get big and go, again, like the Alyssum, it'll go over the side, so it's a really good like spiller plant if you're doing a pot. If you're doing it in a bed, it's going to kind of crawl along the bed. So this is a really good one to fill up a space for you. And then we've got right here the Dianthus Firewitch, and this is going to stay smaller, more compact, but it does get these really pretty little pink flowers out here, so it gives you some color, and then again another texture to add to your bed. So this is a really fun one. One of my favorites is the Dusty Miller. This one doesn't really, you don't buy it for its flowers, you get it for its color. It has this nice silvery color. It's very soft, kind of like lamb's ear, and it just gives you a really nice color contrast to a lot of these greens and darker colors that we have. So this one's a great one to mix in with any bed, even if you're just doing random colors. This one doesn't have a lot of color, but it shows really nicely in beds or pots or wherever you're looking to use it. This one's called Nemesia, and this is a nice purple color that you're getting here. It's kind of a leggy plant, so you want to take that into account when you're planting it. But again, nice color. It's good for this time of year, and you won't have any problems with it. And then the last one I've got over here, we've got our little violas. Now these are always popular in the winter time. They're real easy. They come, a lot of times they'll come in these little 4-inch ones, so they're real easy to pop in where you just need a little bit of color, and they kind of spread out a little. They still stay compact, but they'll get a lot of flowers on them, so you get a lot of color with just a small plant. So those are just a few of the ones that we've got right now that you can plant and be safe in your beds. Okay guys, so earlier I talked about pruning your rose, and I just wanted to give you a couple tips on that. So we've got a rose here. First thing you'd want to do is take off all your leaves. This one pretty much has almost no leaves on it, so it's a good one to work with right now. And then secondly, you're going to want to go in and prune off any dead pieces that you see. So like if you come over here, there's a little brown piece. It's quite clearly dead, and so you can just take your pruners and clip that piece off. And then if you have branches crossing over each other, you don't really want that, so you can cut that off as well. So there's this branch right here, which is kind of crossing here. You're going to cause some rubbing, and you don't really want that with the plant. So you can cut that one off also, so that you're not having it growing across each other. And then the last thing is you're going to want to cut some of these branches to where the bud facing outward. You're going to cut just about a ½ inch above that to create growth coming out the way you want it. And then again, you can also fertilize your roses at this time. So just keeping those looking nice, and when summer hits, your roses will really thank you. Alright guys, hopefully you found some tips that were useful to help make your garden look great right now and in the future. If you have any questions, definitely comment below and I'll do my best to answer. You can also call into our nursery and get your questions answered from our knowledgeable staff. Alright, so subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram, and like us on Facebook. Bye!